What's up everybody, it's Emil here. This is actually my first video on this channel, and on this channel I'm gonna talk about other anime slash manga. Obviously I have my main channel called Eternal Hokage where I talk about Naruto and Boruto, and as I said here I talk about other series. So today I'm gonna review the first chapter of Eden's Zero. Now I know that the creator of Fairy Tail is actually the mangaka of this series. I actually haven't read and I haven't watched obviously Fairy Tail. I've heard that this series has a couple of problems. I don't know. Hopefully, if this series does have problems, because popular opinions can sometimes be unfair, if it does have problems, hopefully those problems won't be in this series as well. Because for now, the series looks very promising. I must say that I really enjoyed the first chapter of Eden's Zero. Now, this was a super long chapter. It had around 80 pages. And there was enough time for the mangaka to get our attention, and he successfully did it. So first of all, we see a young kid named Shiki with this robot or whatever. His name was Michael. And we see Shiki's grandpa, quote-unquote grandpa. And they're having an interesting discussion. You know, dragons are being mentioned. Then quickly we see a gag moment. And anyway, the manga opens up really nicely. It's very interesting. Of course, apart from Shiki, we see Rebecca in this chapter. I guess she's the second main character, and I must say that I really enjoy her character so far, because whenever she's in the panels, there's always some type of gag moment or something like that. And me being a YouTuber and seeing a character that cares about views and subscribers, it was relatable. Like, I was shocked when I saw it, because like I didn't expect to hear about, you know, subscribers and a manga series. So yeah, as I said, that was shocking for me in a positive way. And of course we have this character called Happy. I think it's a cat. Or whatever. I've heard that there was a similar character in Fairy Tail, but as I said, I never saw the series. Anyway, we have this, I guess, island or whatever. It's called Granbell. Shiki is there. He never interacted with any humans. And that's something that's very interesting for me, because it makes me question, how is he going to behave in the future of the series when he meets more humans? Obviously, in this chapter, he saw a girl for the first time. He even touched her boobs. I thought that was hilarious. Speaking of boobs, there's a lot of fan service in this first chapter. I mean, there were so many shots that were sexualizing Rebecca a lot. I don't mind it, because you know it was a goofy chapter with a lot of gag moments, and you know it was fine. I will see how the fan service is gonna be developed throughout the series, and later on I'm gonna keep giving you guys my thoughts on the fan service in Eden's Zero. I nearly said Fairy Tail. But anyway, apart from the gag moments and stuff like that, there was actually some serious stuff going on in this chapter. And there was actually a plot twist that was, in my opinion, written really well, considering the fact that this is the first chapter, and you know, the viewers need to be somehow surprised. And that's exactly what happened in this chapter. Of course, I'm referring to the fact that the robots, quote-unquote, turned evil at the end, and later on we got to see the full truth. Now, one thing that is very, I guess, interesting for me, like I'm wondering, do they actually have feelings, these robots? Because obviously it was stated by the king or whatever, I don't really know, that they were programmed, which obviously they weren't. I mean, it's not like they were programmed to be evil, because clearly they were faking it for the sake of Shiki, right? So do they actually have emotions? That's what I'm thinking right now. I think they do. And there was this good quote from the Demon King, I believe. Sorry if I'm, fucking up some of these names. It's a new manga. But anyway, Shiki's grandpa, he mentioned that everybody has a heart. And I thought that was a really nice quote. So yeah, that's something that's really interesting for me. Are we gonna see Michael again in this series? Because obviously all robots, quote-unquote, died. But, Michael was there from the start of the chapter. We saw him with, obviously, Shiki and his grandpa. Of course, it's the first chapter. I can't get too attached to Michael, but I'm kind of attached to Michael. And one of my favorite parts of this chapter was a quote by Michael before he was dying. He said, "If one had to feel such sadness and loneliness, a loneliness of such depth, who would ever wish for a heart? And then he completely breaks. I thought that was a really nice quote. And, you know, a couple of really nice quotes were in this chapter. Obviously, the word friendship was mentioned a lot of times, and I think there's a very clear reason for that. Obviously, when Shiki was a kid, his grandpa told him that basically if you find people who will cry for you, never leave them, like they're your true friends. That's basically the meaning of that sentence. And although it wasn't stated in this chapter, for me it seems like Shiki's grandpa left somewhere for some reason, and that they haven't interacted for a long time. And maybe Shiki remembers this conversation with his grandpa as his last conversation with him or something like that. And obviously his grandpa told him about friends, which is why that word is so important for him. We see him, you know, mentioning friendship in this chapter so many times. And there was this great moment where Rebecca was captured, and then she actually starts crying because she kind of started liking Shiki. I mean, in terms of friends and stuff like that. She did see that he wasn't a good person. She even gave him a fresh haircut. Although, I'm not gonna lie, and it's not because I have long hair, but I kind of wish he had long hair throughout the series. I don't know, I just thought it was more unique, but yeah. Speaking of unique, this series is very unique because, you know, everything happens in space / cosmos, whatever, and I was completely surprised when I saw this, meaning that there will be a lot of adventures in this series. Furthermore, the power that the main character has, it's very interesting. I'm not gonna go too deep into it because it's just the first chapter. It was just mentioned. It looks like we're gonna get a lot of hand-to-hand combat in this manga. I could be wrong, I don't know, this is just the first chapter. You know, gear of gravity was mentioned as well, so it seems like a very, very interesting concept. Yeah, I really can't wait to see the future of the series and the future of these, you know, power systems, I guess. And another thing that I really should mention is that, you know, Shiki's grandpa said that he will basically change the universe or the world. It depends where you read the chapter, because translations can be a little bit different, you know, between different websites. But anyway, he said that basically Shiki will change everything, right? And yeah, that's a very interesting quote. He's a main character, so he is gonna do it eventually, but we'll see exactly what that means. Shiki is very emotional. He's a very I don't want to say unique yet, because it's just the first chapter, and you have a lot of these goofy shonen protagonists, you know, all around anime / manga. But like, he's special because he never interacted with other people. He, you know, he had to fight against his friends. We even see him crying at the end of the chapter. He values friendship so much. You know, I like his design as well. And by the way, the art style in this manga is wonderful. And I don't know, I enjoy his character a lot so far. There was this also great moment from him when he said that he will fight for those tears. It was when Rebecca started crying. That was another great quote. And overall, this was a really enjoyable first chapter. I still don't know if this manga is weekly or monthly. I really hope it's weekly. Anyway, I'm going to keep reviewing it. And I'm not going to lie, I fell in love with the first chapter of Eden's Zero. I generally can't wait for the next chapter. And hopefully this manga will be very, very successful. And hopefully it will become one of the most memorable shonen manga. So anyway, that was your boy Eternal. Let me know what you think about this chapter in the comment section, because I'll be reading the comments. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.